Hi, everybody. It's great to see you. And although this time, Simran, I flew from China, so I was visiting in China before coming to visit you guys. So the jet lag is not quite as bad this time. So I'm super awake to be able to speak to you today, and I'm really excited about that. We are just changing over, so give us just a couple of minutes. Awesome. Excellent. I am here to speak a little bit about from the marketing side and kind of what we have dubbed Master Your Domain. So it's a play on what Neustar does all the time, from the registry services standpoint, which is provide domain extensions, but also just from your standpoint to be able to master from your own branding, but then also to help your customers' brands. I know that there was a lot of digital marketers out here that we saw earlier, as well as people that are building websites. So I'm here to talk a little bit about that initial step from a marketing standpoint, which is helping your customers find the best name, whether that is for their company or for their marketing campaigns or things of that nature. But kind of starting at that first building block, which is all in a name, and looking at some of the branding there. Hold on. It's not switching. The first step is always to see if it's on, but that was not it this time. I feel better. Should I just say next slide? Oh, does it work? Okay. Awesome. So just a little bit about me quickly, because I really want to get on to what we're supposed to be speaking about today. But as Simran had mentioned, I work and I am here from Neustar. Neustar runs the registry for .biz and .co, which is here supporting you guys today at this event. And we also are the registry for several other domain extensions, or a partner of. So for .tel, for .nyc, several others. And Neustar also became the technical services provider for .in just recently in a transition that happened on February 28th. And I have my colleague Nitin Wali here today as well, who is joining us. So please, after the event, if you have any questions, we are super excited to be able to help with any questions there as well. Neustar is also the registry services provider for over 250 other extensions like .club and .buzz and many different brand clients that we have as well, like .city for .citibank and things of that nature. So we've been in the business since 2001 when what we call the first round of new GTLDs happened, and that's when .biz was getting launched, along with some other extensions like .info and .name also launched right around that time as well. So Neustar has been in the business of GTLDs for a little while. And I myself started in the registry for .mobi when .mobi was getting launched in 2006. And then I have also worked at Public Interest Registry, which runs the .org domain extension as their marketing and communications manager. And then I came on board with the .co team to help lead their channel development and marketing there until we were acquired by Neustar in 2014. And so I've been with Neustar for the past 5 years. So April is our anniversary. So it's been almost exactly 5 years. So super excited to be here with you today. We've been partners with ResellerClub for many years and have worked to help bring you quality products and making sure that our domain extension is for ease of use so that you can be able to offer this to your clients. So a little bit about what I want to talk today initially is just from a branding perspective. How to get noticed in, this crowded digital world. As we had mentioned earlier, there is everyone that is the digital marketers out here. I think there was a gentleman that had mentioned there's many different avenues. Customers are looking for all kinds of answers. How do they make their ROI? How do they help grow? What channels should they be using? But initially, we want them to be able to find you. So what are some of the things that you can think of from a branding perspective to help make sure that customers are coming to you to even be able to answer those, so that you can answer those questions? When we're looking at brands, building not only our customers' brands, but our own brands, we want to really look at how do we help to engender a feeling, an idea, but to really help our customers find us, right? Looking at several of these different types of brands, what are seeing their logos or seeing their name, what are some of those feelings that are engendered with that brand, right? And as you're looking at building your own brand to help, get found by customers, what is the type of feeling that you were looking at being able to build as well? Have several different brands here, Volvo being a big company both in the US and Europe. Their brand is generally around safety. Looking at Apple, they really like to kind of hover around style and being hip. Coca-Cola is build happiness. And then, Nike, the swoosh. It's all about, athleticism and doing that. So are the brands and are the logos that you are looking to get out to the customers, is that helping to engender a response for them? Are they being able to find you and know that they are in the right place? Are you giving them the safety, security, the knowledge, the marketing know-how to really be able to to find you and to really be able to have confidence in in everything that you're bringing? Because all of the knowledge that you have is not as important sometimes at that initial stage than how is that knowledge really being portrayed for your not necessarily current but your future customers. Because we live in a place where we have tons of inputs every single day. There's over 3,000 messages that we get all of the time, whether it's banner ads, we have mobile advertisements, we have on the laptops, we have from outside, you have anything from on cars, seeing the OK brand on every single car that everybody drives, to all of the banner ads that are out there when we're out driving around. How do we help not only our customers have their brands to shine, but also how do we help ourselves to shine in this super, super crowded digital world? And that's one of the things that, that's kind of like the golden sauce that's what we're all looking for to help achieve, right? And so one of the pieces that I wanted to talk about today was on the kind of the beginning scale of looking at certain types of marketing from what we call guerrilla marketing or marketing where you can kind of help get customer names out there, but may not be as high of a cost, right? So this isn't necessarily PPC advertising. This isn't social media advertising, although social media advertising can come into play in some guerrilla marketing. But this isn't a huge cost radio campaign. This is what are some of those tactics that could potentially help, depending on the product, depending on the company, that you can do. And so sometimes you have street teams. From one of the pictures you see here, we had attended an event several years ago, and we had some street teams doing some chanting outside of the event. And it ended up getting posted into the media, which was great in a fun way, not because we were breaking the law or anything, but that helped to advertise, hey, why don't you get a .co? We had people chanting and singing outside of the event. It was fantastic. People were coming and taking pictures, things of that nature. So our street teams, something that could be helpful. To be able to do, certain social media campaigns. Social media campaigns don't have to be as expensive as some of the other PPC types of campaigns. Or have, sticker contests that, anybody that can take a picture and post on social of the brand that you're helping. How can that help to, help build brand power? Having WhatsApp contests with all of your customers. We all have WhatsApp lists in our customer lists and things of that nature. Have a WhatsApp contest, or randomize some small swag gifts to customers to be able to really kind of provide value and some what I call talkability. So having people start talking about you on social, on every day out there to get that brand out there. And there's a lot of different tactics like this. Does anybody like to use any of these kind of tactics? Like I said, I know there's a lot of digital marketers out there. Have you guys used any of these types of what I call guerrilla marketing? But kind of you have. What are some of the things that you've done?
The speaker and
Nice. Now, did you find that was helpful? Did you see people were putting that on social and kind of sharing it and stuff?
yes, but it's not for a brand promotion. It's for a politician.
It was I'm sorry, a what?
It's for a politics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Type of brand, you can kind of segue, but no, that's great. I'm glad that worked. Yes.
What is WhatsApp contest?
WhatsApp contest? Well, so there are certain types of, you have WhatsApp groups, right, for customers and things of that nature. For some of the stuff that we've been looking at taking our WhatsApp group and kind of randomizing, and then I guess I call it a contest, but kind of being able to throw out some swag, or hey, customer number 43, which is this number, we were doing a free promo giveaway, and you just won a sweatshirt or a goodie or some goggles or something like that, to be able to get out to customers. And customers can then be able to post that, which then can help to drive more customers to become part of your group as well. So, maybe not contests per se, but kind of giveaways and things of that nature. Yes?
How much volume you can have?
How much volume from the WhatsApp giveaways? You can do one a day, you could do one a week, you can do one an hour. It would kind of be up to you and how much swag you have to give away. Yes. So and depending on your customers too, right? Because we have these WhatsApp groups, sometimes customers want to hear from us a lot. Sometimes they want to hear from us a little, and you kind of start knowing your customers. So for me, I would kind of start maybe not doing something once an hour, unless all of a sudden you saw lots of activity and customers start coming to you going, oh, hey, are you going to do another one? I want to have a chance to win. Then you can probably pick it up. But I would start it maybe once a week or something like that to just kind of see the level of excitement that comes, and then you can either step it up or you can step it down from there, depending on if customers start saying, why are you contacting me? That's great. Maybe there's some other tactics other than WhatsApp giveaways that you could do. But if you start seeing excitement, that's one that will work for your customer base. Cool. Awesome. Well, like I said, these are a lot of ideas that are not necessarily super expensive to launch or to do, but at the same time, they can engender goodwill and good feelings about you as a brand, so that then you can help gain customers, and your customers see that you're working, so that then, or that you are working for them. So that then, as you come up with those ideas and certain channels and different campaigns, they in essence kind of know that you know what you're talking about, right? So to be able to do some of these things, and then there of course are some of the radio campaigns and the and the large PPC campaigns, and looking at different streams from that nature. But to be able to do some of this stuff really helps to kind of bind your customers to you, and to help get more customers, and to help kind of get that word of mouth out there. So these are some of the campaigns that we really like to be able to do from that standpoint. And that kind of comes to why building a brand is so important, right? So as you are helping to build your customers' brands and your customers' digital marketing campaigns, and your customers' websites, it really comes down to how are we building our own brand, so that then we can help gain those customers to be able to help. Because, bless you, because, what we want to be able to do is to, be able to have customers and gain customers, but at the same time, really help them build their brand. And so to help create that memorable brand, to be able to provide to them a partnership. So, nobody, really cares how hard you work until they know how hard you're working for them, right? There's a lot of options out there. So why is it that a customer should help to, or should come to you to gain that help and know-how? How are you going to be helping, or what are some of those examples? And then also, from some of those WhatsApp contests, or from some of the social that you can do, how can you help to create a community? Because creating a community can help from building ambassadors, what we like to call a brand ambassadors. So who's out there talking about you? When somebody, a business says, oh, we're looking for somebody to help us to gain some more traffic, or to really be able to build our customer base, do you have brand ambassadors out there saying, oh, well, I did a campaign with this company, and or this gentleman, and it was fantastic. He helped me, gain some customers, and also we, got our name out there on the web, and it was great. Do you have some of those brand ambassadors out there for you that can really kind of help amplify any of the things that you're doing? And to really help create excitement about what you can do to help customers. Because we want to help your customers to master their domains, right? To be able to get noticed, to be able to get found online, and to ultimately win. So it is much as you build your brand, that will then help ultimately your new customers to build their brand as well. Because the more customers you have, the more knowledge you gain, and the more your customers can be helped as well. Which brings us to building the customer's brand. One of the things that I had said at the beginning is we really want to talk about kind of being that brand hero, and how do we help from the naming convention, which is what we're going to get into here in just a moment, but really kind of helping your customers get found online, and that really kind of starts in that name. But really making sure that they have a website with a memorable name. We're helping to build our, very mobile responsive. How does it look online? On the laptop. How does it look on our tablets? How does it look on, the mobile phones? Because people are accessing, brands in all kinds of different mediums, and we want to make sure that it looks good everywhere. And then to be able to optimize those online experiences to fit goals, whether that's radio campaigns with, whether that is app campaigns, whether that's WhatsApp and different other campaigns, or whether that is offline completely to help drive online traffic. However that is, we want to be able to optimize that for all of our customers. But for us, at least from our Neustar perspective, and I believe with almost any campaign, it helps to start in a name. So in some studies here in India, 73% of domain names are sold through registrars or web pros such as yourself. So with about 3/4 of all domain names sold through you guys, that is very important, because all of our campaigns start with, well, where am I going to go? Whether it's a coupon code name, whether it's a website name, whether it's the actual company's brand themselves that you're helping to create, you're helping to create those naming conventions. And what is it that we're looking for to help drive traffic so that we can help get products and services and awareness, for our customers. Little play on words, but all the good .coms are gone. Now, that is not specifically the case. I'm not sitting up here saying that every single one has been registered, because we know that. But now that Manish is here working for ResellerClub, we have Nitin here working for Neustar. I don't know. Maybe all the .coms really are gone. Anyway, but one of the things that we're looking at is, how do we help people understand the value of not only what's before the dot, but what's behind the dot too, right? Many times, we're looking at .com because .com is the most well-known. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best or the only, right? It's a good option. I'm not sitting up here saying that it's not, but there are other options, and to help our customers realize this. In a study done a couple of years ago, the .co team, we had looked at doing a survey, and we found that 57% of small business owners with a website said that they had a very hard time finding a name for their business, and they thought that it was more difficult than naming their baby. And we all know, like, naming our babies and naming, our children is one of the most important things, because this is the thing that they're going to go through life with, right? Same thing with the business. Small business owners are looking for, how do I help come up with that name? And you guys are the ones that are helping them do that. Looking at, how do we help to keep it short and memorable? Not too many hyphens, not too many numbers or anything in the middle, not too many misspellings, and then you can also be descriptive. Whether there's a large platform that's been gaining recognition at Zoom.us, or using names. Warby Parker, who is a glasses company, that's the CEO's name or the owner's name. Or using a suggestion tool. There's several different tools out there. And Simran, I'm not sure if in the new panel, do you have naming support as well within that yet? I say yet, sorry.
You mean like the name spinner?
Name spinner, yes.
Yes, we do have a name spinner.
Okay.
On the Express Start. So
Oh.
that's the place where they can buy.
Perfect.
So they can have it.
Perfect, yes. So there's a name spinner that is available in the tool. There's some other name spinners that you can look at as well. If many times having a couple of name spinners, it can be helpful. Of course, always starting with the one directly available to you, because it is the most easy to plug in. But there's other tools out there, and then sometimes you can just help go to a website, especially if you are helping a customer, a consultant, as phone call or things of that nature. You can always go to other sites as well. But helping to use those name spinners really does help in finding names. And many of these tools, and I'm sure the ResellerClub tool does as well, will not only help to find a name before the dot, but it's also helping to find behind the dot too. Because sometimes if you're looking for my business, you could get suggested mybusiness.com, or that might be taken, so you might get suggested my.business, things like that, or my.biz, although my.biz is our website, so you won't get suggested that one, but stuff like that. So looking before and after the dot to really help to find the right option for your customers. Because what we've been finding is, most customers, when they're looking on their own, and or you might also have found the same type of frustration when you're searching for your customers, is that, to find that perfect .com can sometimes take upwards of 10 to 25 times. And many times you'll have customers that are starting to abandon the process and say, well, I don't want to do that. And so now a potential marketing campaign is going away for you because they're getting tired of searching, right? Or they start putting in different misspellings, and then customers and or people that are looking online may not find the campaigns because there's too many misspellings, there's hyphens in it, there's things of that nature. And while we all know that building content and for that SEO value is of course very critical as well, many times we feel that it starts within the name. So how is that campaign being named? So you can look at other types of naming options. Additionally, many times if you do find the perfect .com for a campaign, it might be a premium price. And a premium price not meaning a little bit more than normal, it might be in the tens of thousands difference. So do you want to pay that premium price when there's some other very good options that are all just as SEO friendly and can be utilized? Whether you have global extensions like .biz and .co, .net is also another global extension. You have all of our local extensions, .in, .desi, .vegas, .miami, depending on where your customers are looking to kind of build their campaigns. And then lastly, we have many, many keywords out there, from .flowers, .attorney, .photography. For a lot of the e-commerce website folks that build websites for e-commerce, you have .shop, you have .online, you have .biz, you have many different options, depending on where they're located. If they're located in some of the center states or some of the smaller states here in India, if the .in option is gone, there are some other options, but usually looking to .in first from that perspective. A little bit about some of the stats of what we're looking at from the domain name era right now. This is from the latest VeriSign industry brief that comes out every quarter. There's about just under 350 million domain names globally out there today, which is a 4.9 increase over the same time the year before. 153 million of those are common net. So a good portion of them are common net. They have had a smaller increase, 4.5 year over year increase, so not quite at the average for the whole industry. But when you're looking at the CCTLDs, and CCTLD, for those that might not know, stands for country code top level domain. So a CCTLD would be the local extension of .in. Or what we call a GCCTLD, which is a generic country code, meaning that it can be used generically, but technically it is a country code. .me is a good example of a generic CCTLD. .tv, there's many campaigns out there with .tv. That's another example of a generic. And then .co as well is also another example of a generic. So it can be used generically, it can be used anywhere and everywhere, but technically it's a country code. But there's 154 million extensions out there, which has above average increase. It's about 5.6% over the same time as 2017. And then lastly, we have what we call our new GTLDs. Those are the .flowers, the .attorney, .shop, .club, .buzz, those of the world were just under 24 million, 23.8 million, and that has had a significant 15.5 increase over the same time in 2017. Being the newest member to the domain name community, the new GTLDs are growing more than any other base, which is good to see. But what I really like is the fact that you can also see a lot of the growth in the local, the CCTLD community. So making sure that .in is used for those companies that are here in India, or in Germany, .de is still growing, and in the UK, .uk is still growing, things of that nature. So really looking at that local growth for businesses that are looking to have customer bases that are local. And as business owners, to us, we look at how can we help grow a portfolio for our customers so that they can use domain names in different ways, right? So while you might have a business that is starting here in India, and you have a customer that is starting here in India, so they need their .in, right? But then as they are starting to look at growing their global base, is there a way for them to utilize and gain domain names, which ultimately gains you an additional product that you've helped sell to them, but also it is meaningful. So while they have their business.in name, they may need business.co in order to be able to showcase the fact that they are global, or they may need business.biz, or if they are looking to grow because they want to grow in the US, do they have business.us? Or if they're looking to grow because they have a large German customer base, now we need business.de, right? But to be able to really kind of grow that so that people that are coming to the site know that their website is for them as well. It's not necessarily about the business, it's about where are the customers that you're looking to attract. As well as, like I said, it ends up being a larger portfolio for you to your customer. That's not the reason you do it. You're doing it in order to provide value to them, but it doesn't hurt that it has a larger product set that you offer to your customer as well. So lastly, just kind of looking at, what are some of those things that, we always do hear from customers, right? Well, I want a .com versus I need a website. Generally, nowadays, what they're talking about is I need a website, but it generally starts with I need a .com. So really helping our customers understand that, yes, .com is the largest out there. It started in 1985, so yes, it does have the largest customer base, but that it's not the only option out there, and there could be other better options for the customers. It could be that .com is the best option, but other times, I would probably say that there are other better options that could be out there as well. And so we want to be able to explore that with them. And then, looking at, what are some of the tools to help educate the customers from an SEO standpoint, looking at really helping to build content that is relevant as well. But it does start with that name and looking at some of the naming conventions and what kind of tools would be helpful. So do you guys have any thoughts around tools that would be helpful to you for your customers for, kind of looking at this? Sorry, it's hard to see with the lights. So, got it. Alrighty, cool. Well, lastly, we live in a huge world with many options, and there's many domaining options as well. So it's something that is always evolving. 5 years ago we had over 1,200 new options come into the market, and now trying to navigate through how do we learn about all of these products, how do we sell these products, how do we help our customers understand about the products, and really looking at what is the best option. ResellerClub is a very good opportunity to help kind of learn about all of that. They have made sure that those products are available to you in the control panels so that then you can be able to offer them to your customers. Yes?
Is there any major difference between the local TLDs and global TLDs?
Is there any, what kind of difference? I'm sorry.
Yeah, is there any major difference? What is the difference?
Between CCTLEs and global?
Not always. So for .in for specificity, no. Anyone can register a .in. So for example, a foreign company that wants to gain India customer base can also register a .in. There are no policies that are detracting from that. There are some countries that do have certain restrictive policies. So it is harder to register a local option versus a global option, but here for .in, no.
And the price difference .co and the new TLDs and all, there are a lot of difference comparatives to like .in, .com. So why so much of difference?
Great question. So there are a lot of different pricing options out there. It used to be way back when, back in good old well, actually when .com first came out in 1985 and up through about almost 2000, I think 1999, .com used to be sold at, you could only buy for 2 years, and it was at $100 USD. So, .com has had a number of pricing changes themselves. In 1999, with the advent of a policy body called the Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers, which is ICANN for short. Many of you may have heard of that or may not, but that is kind of the policy body that helps to drive all of the policies that we use around the world for domain name extensions from securities and things of that nature. As that started, or as that got started, many of the domain names lowered their prices and became more like a commodity, so commodity sales. So I think .com at the time went down to $6. It might have been $5, and you might know too. It went down to $5. I know when .biz first got started, it was at $5.25. Same for .info. .org was right around that price as well. However, with anything, there is one, some inflation, but two, people are really kind of realizing that there is a lot of value in the online platform, right? There's a lot of value in everything to do with your website and your online brand, but that first and foremost is that name. And that has some value. So, for example, when .co launched in 2010, we looked at, one, we wanted to make sure that the businesses and people that really wanted to have a .co or have a business online could get it. And it wasn't all snapped up by people that then were looking to turn around and just try to sell it to them for thousands of dollars. So if we had too low of a price, we felt that we would be in a similar situation as many of the good .coms out there, because many of the .coms get snapped up by certain investors, and then they say, okay, well, it's not $8 or it's not $10 to get this, it is $10,000 or it is $1,000 to be able to acquire this. We wanted .co initially. We said it is a premium brand, and we want it to be able to be in the hands of businesses and startups and innovators to be able to be used. And when we did some studies on price sensitivity, most businesses out there said, okay, well, I understand paying $30 for my name, or I understand paying $50 for my name. So hence, that's why we priced it where we did. Now, we like to do promotions so that you can then kind of have a low-cost entry fee, but at the same time, most people have not necessarily quibbled too much about paying that renewal fee. And so you start getting into different brands and different domain extensions that have different pricing. Over the years, Com also started raising their price to, it's now $7.85 wholesale, plus an ICANN fee, so it makes it around $8. Due to the size in the market, the Department of Justice put a pricing freeze on .com about 6 or 7 years ago. However, that pricing freeze just got lifted. So with the new contract that .com signed, that pricing freeze is gone. So we do expect .com itself to probably go up in the next 18 months or so. And then other extensions, .biz, .info, all of them have been, over the years, doing price increases to help meet and match the market. At the same time, though, we still do, entry cost promotions so that, you can help your customers kind of, get into the domain extension. But then the renewal fees are the normal renewal fees. So, and even with some country code extensions as well, those have typically been a little bit lower. I know .uk is in the nature of £3. .in is $3.99, $4.99, $3.99. $3.99. You have some others. Within the Colombia market, where we also have .co, we have a local extension, which is .com.co, and that is a lower price. So, within the local market, that is at $8 USD, so it's at the same price that .com is today, even though it won't be for very much longer. But so generally, your local extensions are a little bit lower priced. Many times that is in order to help entice and make sure that, within our local market, we're using our local extensions. I know that within Colombia, that is something that we did. We priced it at the same as Com, and even though it was priced at the same as Com, the com.co extension is the predominant extension in the country of Colombia, by 76% over Com. So those are sometimes some of the pricing discussions that happen behind closed doors of how we kind of look at pricing. That was a really long answer. Did that help though? Yay, nay? Okay.
Surely help me.
But
Any other questions, guys? Okay.
awesome.
We're
Well, thank you very much. It was really great to be here. I will be around for the rest of the day. I look forward to the networking here at the end. And again, like I said, I have my colleague Nitin and I are around. So if you do have any questions, whether it's about Biz & Co. or any of the other extensions that we help with, we are happy to help, and we are all ears. So thank you very much, guys, and talk to you again soon.